Welcome to Ryan's Revelations, where we uncover the truth behind America's most shocking relationship betrayals. Real people, real affairs, real consequences. These are the stories no one wants to talk about, but everyone needs to hear. What you're about to hear is a true story from Portland, Oregon. Names have been changed to protect identities, but every word, every betrayal, every heartbreak is real. This is Ryan's Revelations. This is the truth. I thought I had the perfect marriage, until I found my wife's phone and discovered she'd been sleeping with my brother for 2 years. But the real betrayal? She was pregnant, and she didn't know which one of us was the father. Before we dive into this story, make sure you're subscribed to Ryan's Revelations and hit that notification bell. You won't want to miss what happens next. Trust me. My name is David Harrison. I'm 35 years old, and I live in Portland, Oregon with my wife, ex-wife, now Jessica. For 7 years, I thought we had everything, the kind of marriage people envied. The kind of love story you see in movies. We met in college, got married at 28, bought a beautiful craftsman house in the Pearl District. Jessica was a yoga instructor with her own studio downtown, and I worked as a senior architect at one of Portland's top firms. We had date nights every Friday, took trips to wine country on weekends, talked about having kids when the timing was right. Everyone said we were perfect together. Her friends would joke that they wanted what we had. My parents called Jessica the daughter they never had. Even my younger brother, Ryan, would say he hoped to find someone like her someday. Ryan, God, just thinking his name now makes my stomach turn. He was 32, 3 years younger than me, and we'd always been close. After our dad died 5 years ago, Ryan struggled. Dropped out of grad school, bounced between jobs, battled depression. I was the one who got him back on his feet. Let him stay with us for 6 months when he hit rock bottom. Got him a job at a tech startup through my connections. Introduced him to my friends, my life, my world, my wife. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me tell you how it all fell apart. It started on a Thursday in March, one of those perfect Portland spring days where the rain finally stops, and everyone remembers why they live in the Pacific Northwest. I was working late at the office, finalizing designs for a major hotel project downtown. My phone rang around 8 p.m. Mr. Harrison? An unfamiliar voice. This is Providence Hospital. Your brother Ryan was brought in about an hour ago. He was in a car accident. My heart stopped. Is he okay? He's stable, but he's asking for you. Can you come? I grabbed my keys and raced to the hospital, calling Jessica on the way. It went straight to voicemail. She was probably at her evening yoga class. Thursday nights she taught until 9. When I got to the A, they led me to Ryan's room. He looked rough, bandaged head, arm in a sling, but conscious and talking. Jesus, Ryan, what happened? He tried to smile, wincing, ran a red light. Wasn't paying attention. I'm fine, just banged up. Where were you going? A pause. Something flickered in his eyes. Just driving around. Needed to clear my head. We talked for a while. The doctor said he'd be fine, but wanted to keep him overnight for observation. Around 10 p.m., I told him I should head home, check on Jessica. Let her know what happened. Wait, Ryan said, grabbing my arm. His eyes were intense, almost pleading. David, I need to tell you something. What? He opened his mouth, then closed it. Shook his head. Never mind, it can wait. Go home to your wife. The way he said your wife felt strange, too emphatic. But I was tired and worried, so I let it go. I drove home, still unable to reach Jessica. Her phone kept going to voicemail. When I pulled into our driveway at 10:30, her car was there. The house was dark except for a light in our bedroom. I walked in quietly, exhausted. As I climbed the stairs, I heard something that made me freeze. Jessica's voice. Muffled, but unmistakable. She was on the phone. I know. I can't keep doing this. Yes, tonight was close. No, he doesn't suspect anything. I love you too. My hand was on the bedroom doorknob when she said, We have to be more careful. David almost came home early. I'll tell him soon, I promise. Just give me more time. I stood there in the dark hallway, my world tilting sideways. Tell me what? Who was she talking to? I pushed open the door. Jessica was sitting on our bed in her yoga clothes, phone pressed to her ear. When she saw me, she went white. I have to go, she said quickly, hanging up. David, you're home early. I didn't hear you come in. Who are you talking to? My voice sounded strange, hollow. Just my sister. Girl talk, you know. She smiled, but it didn't reach her eyes. Your sister. I stepped into the room. What do you need to tell me, Jess? She blinked. What? I heard you. I'll tell him soon. Tell me what? Her face cycled through expressions: panic, calculation, resignation. She stood up, wrapping her arms around herself. David, sit down, please. I don't want to sit down. I want you to tell me who you were on the phone with and what the hell is going on. Tears filled her eyes. Real ones, I think. I'm pregnant. The words hit me like a physical blow. What? I'm 8 weeks pregnant. I found out last week. I should have been happy. Thrilled. We've been talking about starting a family. But something about the way she said it, the timing, the phone call. Why didn't you tell me? I wanted to. I was waiting for the right moments. So you told your sister first? And why does that require you to be more careful about me coming home early? She looked away, and in that moment, I knew. Some animal instinct, some buried knowledge I'd been ignoring for months, suddenly crystallized into certainty. It's not your sister you were talking to, was it? Silence. Jessica. Who were you talking to? The word exploded out of me, echoing in our bedroom, our sanctuary. The place where we'd made love, talked about our future, built our life together. She looked up at me with red, swollen eyes and whispered the name that destroyed everything. Ryan. I remember laughing, actually laughing. Because it was so absurd, so impossible, that my brain couldn't process it as real. Ryan? I repeated. My brother Ryan? Jessica nodded, tears streaming down her face. You were on the phone with my brother, saying you love him, talking about telling me something, about being careful. The pieces clicked together like a puzzle I'd been too blind to see. How long, David, how long? 2 years, she whispered. The room spun. I sat down on the bed, our bed, because my legs wouldn't hold me anymore. 2 years, 730 days of betrayal, of lies, of them laughing at me behind my back. 2 years, I echoed. When we went to Maui for our anniversary last year, were you thinking about him? She didn't answer. When we hosted Thanksgiving and Ryan sat at our table, carving the turkey, joking with Mom, ... you two were sleeping together? David, please. When you got that new yoga studio and I threw you a celebration party, and Ryan gave that toast about how lucky I was to have you ... I looked at her. This woman I'd loved for a decade, and didn't recognize her. You were fucking my brother. She flinched at the vulgarity. Good. It started as nothing, she said, her voice shaking. He was staying here after your dad died. He was depressed, vulnerable. I was trying to help him, be supportive. One night you were working late and we had too much wine. And ... double quotes. And you decided to destroy our family. It was a mistake. One stupid mistake. But then ... it kept happening. I tried to stop David, I swear I tried. But Ryan and we connected. He understood me in ways. She cut herself off, realizing what she was about to say. In ways I don't? I finished for her. Is that it? Your depressed, unemployed brother-in-law understands you better than your husband, who's provided everything for you? It's not about money. Then what is it about, Jessica? What could possibly justify this? She sat down beside me and I instinctively moved away. She noticed, and fresh tears fell. You're always working, she said quietly. Always at the office, always focused on the next project, the next promotion. When was the last time we really talked? Really connected? So this is my fault? The anger was building again. I work too much, so you sleep with my brother for 2 years? No. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just trying to explain. Explain the unexplainable. I stood up, pacing. The baby. Is it mine? She looked down at her hands. I don't know. Those 4 words. 4 simple words that completed the destruction of my life. You don't know. I laughed again. That same horrible, hollow sound. You've been sleeping with both of us, and you don't know which one of us is the father of your child. David, does Ryan know? About the baby? She nodded. I told him tonight. That's why ... that's why he crashed his car. He was upset, driving around trying to process it, so Ryan knew before me. Ryan knew my wife was pregnant, possibly with his child, before I did. Get out, I said quietly. What? Get out of this room. Out of this house. Now. David, please, we need to talk about this. There's nothing to talk about. I was shouting again. You've been lying to me for 2 years. Sleeping with my brother in my house, in my bed probably, I saw the answer in her eyes. Jesus Christ, in our bed. I'm so sorry. Sorry doesn't fix this. Sorry doesn't unfuck my brother. Sorry doesn't make that baby mine. I pointed at the door. Get out. Where am I supposed to go? I don't care. Go to your sister. Go to Ryan. Go to hell for all I care. Just get out of my sight. She grabbed her phone and her purse, crying hysterically, and stumbled down the stairs. I heard the front door slam, her car start, tires squealing as she drove away. Then I was alone in our bedroom, surrounded by photos of our life together. Our wedding day, vacations, holidays, all of it a lie. I grabbed the nearest picture us at the beach last summer, her in my arms, both of us smiling, and threw it against the wall. The glass shattered, and I felt a savage satisfaction. Then I started throwing everything else. If you're experiencing this story on Ryan's Revelations, hit that like button if you think David deserves better. And subscribe, because these real affair stories only get more intense. Now back to the confrontation. I didn't sleep that night. Couldn't. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw them together. Jessica and Ryan, in my house. In my bed, laughing at the stupid blind husband who worked late while they destroyed his life. By dawn, the bedroom was a disaster. Broken picture frames, clothes everywhere. A hole in the wall where I'd punched it around 3 a.m. My hand was swollen, probably fractured, but I didn't care. My phone had been buzzing all night. Texts from Jessica. David, please come home. We need to talk. I'm staying at Sarah's. Please don't do anything you'll regret. I love you. That last one made me want to throw my phone through the window. Nothing from Ryan. At 7 a.m., I got in my car and drove to the hospital. Ryan was being discharged, sitting in a wheelchair by the nurse's station when I walked up. He saw me and went pale. David. I grabbed him by his good arm and pulled him up. We need to talk, now. I can't leave yet. They haven't. I don't give a shit. Move. Something in my face must have terrified him because he didn't argue. I wheeled him out to the parking lot, then shoved the wheelchair aside and made him stand. How long? I asked, my voice deadly calm. Dave, Don't call me that. You don't get to call me that anymore. How long have you been fucking my wife? He winced. She told you. Answer the question. 2 years, about. Hearing it from him made it real in a way it hadn't been before. My baby brother. The kid I protected from bullies in middle school. The best man at my wedding. Why? He looked away. It just happened. Things don't just happen, Ryan. You made a choice. Multiple choices. Every single day for 2 years you chose to betray me. I know. His voice cracked. I know, and I hate myself for it, but David, I love her. I punched him. Not the smartest move given his injuries, but I couldn't stop myself. My fist connected with his jaw, and he went down hard. You love her? I was standing over him, shaking with rage. You love my wife? He touched his face, blood on his fingers from a split lip. I'm sorry. Sorry? I laughed. Everyone's so fucking sorry. But nobody stopped, did they? Not when I let you stay in my house. Not when I got you a job. Not when I included you in every holiday, every celebration, every part of my life. I tried to stop. Not hard enough. I was yelling now, aware that people in the parking lot were staring. You knew what you were doing. You watched me come home every night, kiss my wife, talk about our future. And you knew. I wanted to tell you so many times, but you didn't, because you're a coward. A lying, backstabbing coward who couldn't keep his hands off his brother's wife. Ryan struggled to his feet, leaning against a car. You want to hit me again? Go ahead, I deserve it. I deserve worse. The baby, I said. Is it yours? He looked surprised. She told you? Is it yours? I don't know, that's the truth. We've been careful, but not always. And I know she's still with you. The clinical way he said it, still with you, like I was the other man, like he had claimed to my wife first. What now? I asked, you two run off together? Play happy family with a baby that might be mine? I don't know. He wiped blood from his mouth. Jessica's confused. She doesn't know what she wants. She wants you both, I said bitterly. Her stable husband with the good job, and the nice house and her exciting lover on the side. Best of both worlds. It's not like that, then what's it like, Ryan? Explain it to me. Make me understand how my brother and my wife could do this to me. He was crying now. I never meant to hurt you, you have to believe that. But you did. Every single day for 2 years, you hurt me. You both did. David, please. Don't contact me again. Don't come to my house. If I see you, I can't promise I won't finish what I started here. I turned to walk away, then stopped. And Ryan? If that baby is yours, congratulations. You get to be everything our father wasn't. Oh wait, you already are. I left him there in the parking lot and drove home. When I got there, Jessica's car was in the driveway. Jessica was sitting on our front porch, still in yesterday's clothes. Her eyes were swollen, mascara streaked down her face. When she saw me, she stood up. David, what are you doing here? This is my house too. Not anymore, it isn't. I walked past her to unlock the door. She followed me inside. We need to talk about what happens next. What happens next? I turned on her. I'll tell you what happens. You move out. I file for divorce. You and Ryan figure out your little love story without me in it. It's not that simple. It's exactly that simple. What about the baby? She placed a hand on her still flat stomach. What if it's yours? Then I'll deal with that when we know for sure. Until then, you're not my problem anymore. David, please listen to me. She grabbed my arm. I made a terrible mistake. The worst mistake of my life, but I love you. I've always loved you. I pulled away from her touch. You have a funny way of showing it. Ryan and I, it was physical, exciting because it was wrong. But it's not real love. Not like what we have. Had, I corrected. What we had. Past tense. No. She shook her head desperately. No, we can get past this. Couples survive affairs all the time. We can go to therapy, work through it. Affairs? I laughed harshly. Jessica, you didn't have an affair. You had a 2-year relationship with my brother. That's not something therapy can fix. But the baby doesn't change anything. Whether it's mine or his, you still betrayed me. You still chose him over me over and over again. She was sobbing now. I choose you. I'm choosing you now. David, please, I can't lose you. You should have thought about that before you slept with Ryan. My phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number. David, it's Ryan. Please don't take this out on Jessica. This is my fault. I pursued her. If you need to hate someone, hate me. I showed Jessica the text. He's defending you. How noble. He's trying to protect me. From what? The consequences of your actions? I deleted the text. No, you both did this. You both get to live with it. What do you want me to do? She asked, her voice breaking. Tell me what to do, and I'll do it. I want you to leave. I want to never have to look at you again. I want to go back in time and not introduce you to my brother. Not let him stay here, not be so goddamn trusting and stupid. You weren't stupid. You were a good man. You are a good man. A good man whose wife fucked his brother for 2 years. I grabbed her suitcase. She must have packed it before coming over. Here, take your things and go. Where? Sarah's a hotel. Ryan's place. I don't care. Ryan's in the hospital. No, he's not. I just saw him. He's fine. I opened the front door. Go. She stood there, looking at me with those green eyes I'd loved for so long. David, I'm pregnant with possibly your child. Doesn't that mean anything? It means you're a liar who doesn't even know who the father is. That's what it means. She flinched like I'd hit her. Good. I wanted her to hurt the way I was hurting. If you won't leave, I said, I will. But this is my house, Jessica. My name on the deed. My money that paid for it. You want to stay? Fine, but I'm calling a lawyer today. I grabbed my keys and wallet and headed for the door. David! She ran after me. Please, just give me a chance to explain. Explain what? That you're in love with my brother? That you've been carrying on an affair under my nose for 2 years? That you got pregnant and don't even know who the father is? I turned on her. There's nothing to explain. It's all crystal clear. I was confused. Unhappy. You were always working and Ryan was there. So, it is my fault. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying I felt alone. And Ryan made me feel seen. Ryan, I shook my head. The unemployed, depressed mooch I took in and supported made you feel more seen than your husband? He talked to me. He asked about my day, my feelings, my dreams. When was the last time you did that? I was working to pay for this house, for your yoga studio, for the life we built together. I didn't need things, David. I needed you. Well, now you have Ryan. Congratulations. I walked out, got in my car, and drove away. In my rearview mirror, I saw her standing in our driveway, crying. I drove to my office, even though it was Saturday. I needed to think, to process, to figure out what the hell I was supposed to do now. My phone wouldn't stop buzzing. Jessica. Ryan. even my mother, though I don't know how she'd heard already. I turned it off. At my desk, I pulled out a bottle of whiskey I kept in the bottom drawer for celebrating deals. Instead, I drank to numb the pain, my wife and my brother. The two people I trusted most in the world. The affair had destroyed my marriage. But it had destroyed something else too, my relationship with Ryan, my family, my ability to trust anyone ever again. And the baby, God, the baby, what if it was mine? What if I had a child being raised by my ex-wife and my brother? What if it was Ryan's? Would I really be able to walk away from a kid who carried half my DNA, even if it wasn't mine? I poured another drink and stared out at the Portland skyline, wondering how everything had gone so wrong. You're watching Ryan's Revelations, where we expose the truth about real affairs in America. If this story is hitting home, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And don't forget to subscribe at Ryan's Revelations Official for more shocking betrayal stories every week. I didn't go home that weekend. Stayed in a hotel, ignored my phone, drank too much. By Monday morning, I was hungover and furious, but I was also thinking clearly for the first time since Thursday night. 2 years. That's how long they said it had been. But was that true? What else had they lied about? I went back to the house while Jessica was at work. The place felt violated now, like a crime scene. I knew what I was looking for. Her laptop was in the home office. She'd never been good with passwords, used the same one for everything. Our wedding date. The irony wasn't lost on me. I logged in and went straight to her emails. The first one from Ryan was dated 3 years ago. Just friendly at first. Thanks for letting me crash with you guys. David's lucky to have you. Normal stuff. Then about 6 months in, they changed. I can't stop thinking about last night. We have to be more careful. David almost walked in. When can we be alone again? I felt sick, but I kept reading. There were hundreds of them. Detailed plans about when they could meet. Hotel names. Times when I'd be working late. The more I read, the more systematic the betrayal became. They had a whole system. Code words. Fake names in each other's phones. Jessica had Ryan listed as Riley in her contacts. I'd seen her texting Riley dozens of times and never questioned it. I found photos. Not explicit, but intimate. Ryan and Jessica at coffee shops I didn't recognize, on hikes I'd never been on. At restaurants where they looked like a couple. In one photo, Jessica was wearing the necklace I'd given her for our 6th anniversary. She was looking at Ryan the way she used to look at me. The worst part? There were gaps in the timeline. Dates when there were no emails or texts. I cross-referenced them with my calendar, my business trips, every single one. When I'd gone to San Francisco for a week in October, they'd stayed at our house together. Like they were married. When I'd visited my mom in Seattle for a long weekend, same thing. They'd turned my absences into their opportunities. I also found bank statements. Jessica had been taking cash out of our joint account, small amounts, never enough to raise suspicion. $50 here, $80 there. Over 2 years, it added up to almost $10,000, money she'd used for hotels, for gifts, for maintaining their affair. My phone rang. My lawyer, Daniel, finally calling me back after I'd left him a frantic voicemail on Saturday. David, I got your message. Are you serious about this? Dead serious? My wife's been cheating on me with my brother for 2 years. I want a divorce. Fast. Jesus, I'm sorry, man. Daniel had been my friend since law school. Okay, let's talk about what you want. Assets, custody if there's a kid involved. She's pregnant. Doesn't know if it's mine or his. Silence. Then, Christ, David, that complicates things. Tell me about it. You'll need a paternity test. Until then, you could be on the hook for child support, even if, I know. I've been reading up on it. I'd spent Sunday morning researching Oregon family law. What are my options? Well, you can file for divorce on grounds of adultery. Oregon's a no-fault state, but adultery can affect asset division and spousal support. Especially if you can prove she used marital funds for the affair. I looked at the bank statements. I can prove it. Good. Start documenting everything. Emails, texts, financial records. Don't delete anything. What about Ryan? Can I sue him? For alienation of affection? Daniel sighed. Oregon abolished that law decades ago. Legally, you can't go after him. But it'll definitely factor into the divorce proceedings. After I hung up with Daniel, I kept digging. And I found something that made everything even worse. A medical appointment reminder in Jessica's email. From 6 months ago, an appointment at a women's health clinic. I called them, pretending to be her husband following up on an appointment. The receptionist was friendly, helpful. Too helpful. "Oh yes, Mr. Harrison, your wife came in for a pregnancy consultation last September. But she decided not to proceed with the procedure." My blood ran cold. "What procedure?" "The termination." She was about 8 weeks along at the time, but I hung up. Jessica had been pregnant before, 6 months ago. And she'd considered an abortion but didn't go through with it. Had that been Ryan's baby too? Was this her second pregnancy from the affair? The front door opened. Jessica walked in, freezing when she saw me at her laptop. "David, what are you doing?" I turned the screen toward her. "Want to tell me about Riley?" Her face went white. "Or maybe you want to tell me about the pregnancy last September. The one you decided not to proceed with? You went through my emails?" She sounded more offended than guilty. "You fucked my brother for 2 years. I think I'm entitled to go through your emails." I stood up. "September, Jessica, you were pregnant 6 months ago. Was that Ryan's too?" She looked away. "I don't know." "You don't know. So this is the second time?" "The second baby you don't know the father of. I miscarried," she said quietly, "at 10 weeks. I never had to make a choice. But you were going to get an abortion. I was confused. I didn't know what to do. And you didn't tell me. Again." I shook my head. "How many more lies, Jessica? How many more secrets? I was trying to protect you. By lying? By stealing our money to pay for hotels with my brother? By getting pregnant twice and not knowing who the father was?" I grabbed my coat. "I can't do this anymore. Where are you going?" "To see Ryan. We're going to have a conversation about the timeline of this affair. Because I have a feeling there's even more you're not telling me. David, please. I'll be back for my things tomorrow. I want you out of the house by then. You can't kick me out. Watch me." Ryan lived in a small apartment in northwest Portland. The one I'd helped him get after he moved out of our house 2 years ago. The timing suddenly made sickening sense. He'd moved out right when the affair started, probably to avoid arousing my suspicion. I pounded on his door until he opened it. His jaw was bruised from where I'd hit him, and he looked like he hadn't slept either. "Dave, don't." I pushed past him into the apartment. "We're going to talk, really talk. And you're going to tell me everything." He closed the door, leaning against it. "What do you want to know? When did it really start? And don't give me that 2 years ago bullshit. I've seen the emails. There are gaps. Times when you were careful not to leave a trail." He ran a hand through his hair. "About 3.5 years ago." My stomach dropped. "While you were living with us." "Yes. So when I was helping you, supporting you, trying to save your life after Dad died, you were already fucking my wife." "It started as emotional support," he said weakly. "She was lonely. I was depressed. We talked a lot, and it just escalated." I laughed bitterly. "That's one way to put it." "Did you sleep together in my house?" He didn't answer, which was answer enough. "In my bed." "David." "In my bed." "Yes," he shouted back. "Yes, okay. When you were at work, when you were out of town, whenever we could. Are you happy now? You want me to spell out every detail? I want you to tell me why. Why would you do this to me?" "I'm your brother. I saved you." "You saved me?" His expression twisted. "You mean you felt superior to me? Poor Ryan, the fuck-up. Let's give him a job, a place to stay. Let him see how the perfect couple lives." "That's not. You've always looked down on me, David. The successful older brother and his beautiful wife, showing off everything I didn't have. So you took her? Out of jealousy?" "At first, maybe." He sat down on his couch, defeated. "But then I fell in love with her. Really in love. And she fell for me too. She's married to me. She's miserable with you." Ryan stood back up, angry now. "When was the last time you really looked at her, David? Really saw her? You're so focused on your career, your projects, your perfect life that you don't notice she's dying inside. So she came crying to you. She did. And I listened. I cared. I made her feel alive again. By betraying me. Yes." He met my eyes. "By betraying you. And I'm not going to apologize for loving her, even if how it started was wrong. The baby," I said. "The first one, 6 months ago. Did you know about it?" He hesitated. "Yes. And you told her to get an abortion?" "No. I told her to tell you the truth. Finally come clean, but she was scared. She didn't want to hurt you." "Too late for that." I paced the small apartment. "This current pregnancy, are you hoping it's yours?" "I don't know what I'm hoping anymore." He sounded exhausted. "Part of me wants it to be mine. Proof that what Jessica and I have is real. But part of me knows that would destroy you completely. Newsflash, Ryan. I'm already destroyed. I never wanted that. Then you shouldn't have fucked my wife. We stood there, brothers, staring at each other across a chasm that could never be bridged. What happens now? Ryan asked quietly. I'm divorcing Jessica, getting a paternity test. Depending on the results, I trailed off. If the baby's mine, I'll fight for custody. If it's yours, you can have the whole mess. And us? You and me? I looked at my little brother, the kid I'd protected, mentored, loved. There is no us anymore. You made sure of that. David, I have one more question. I was at the door now, hand on the knob. If you could go back, would you do it again? He was quiet for a long moment. Then, if it meant being with Jessica? Yes, I nodded. That's what I thought. I left, and I didn't look back. The moment of truth is coming. But first, if you re-watching this on any channel other than Ryan's Revelations at Ryan's Revelations Official, you're watching stolen content. This is an exclusive Ryan's Revelations investigation. Subscribe to the Real channel for authentic affair stories. Now, the paternity results that shocked everyone. 3 months later, the paternity test results arrived. Jessica was now 5 months pregnant, showing significantly. We'd been communicating only through lawyers, living separate lives while waiting for the one answer that would determine everything. She was staying with her sister. Ryan had been texting me occasionally pathetic attempts to apologize or explain. I blocked his number after the 10th message. My mom knew everything now. She was devastated, caught between her 2 sons. She tried to play mediator at first, but I shut that down. There's nothing to mediate, Mom. Ryan betrayed me. That's not something you can fix. I'd thrown myself into work, avoiding friends, avoiding questions. My boss had commented on my impressive dedication lately. He didn't know I was just trying not to think. The envelope sat on my kitchen counter, sealed. Inside was a piece of paper that would tell me if I was about to become a father to my ex-wife's child, or if my brother would raise the baby instead. I poured myself a drink I'd been drinking too much lately and opened it. The medical jargon was confusing at first, but then I saw the number 0%. Probability of paternity 0%. The baby wasn't mine. That night, alone in my house, the one Jessica and I had picked out together, dreaming of the family we'd raised there, I finally let myself fully grieve. I grieved for my marriage, for the brother I'd lost, for the trust that had been shattered, for the future I'd imagined that would never exist. I cried for the first time since the affair came to light, and once I started, I couldn't stop. But when I woke up the next morning, I felt lighter somehow, like I'd finally let go of the weight I'd been carrying. I couldn't forgive them. Maybe I never would. But I could move forward, build a new life. Find someone who would choose me the way I'd chosen Jessica. Someone who understood that love meant loyalty. 3 years later, I married a woman named Claire. She was a civil engineer I'd met on a project, smart, funny, honest to a fault. On our first date, I told her everything. The affair, the betrayal, the baby that wasn't mine. That's a lot of baggage, she said. I know. If it's too much, I didn't say I couldn't handle it, she smiled. Everyone has a past, David. What matters is who you are now. We got married on a cliff overlooking the ocean, surrounded by friends who'd supported me through the darkest time of my life. My mom was there, crying happy tears. Ryan and Jessica weren't invited. On our wedding night, Claire asked me, "Do you ever think about them?" Sometimes, I admitted. But less and less. They're part of my past, not my future. Good, she kissed me. Because I'm your future now. And she was... I heard through the grapevine that Ryan and Jessica broke up when Emma was 2. The excitement had worn off. The reality of raising a child and living with guilt had taken its toll. They tried to make it work, but in the end, what they'd built on betrayal couldn't survive. Ryan moved to California. Jessica stayed in Portland, raising Emma alone, working part-time at a gym. I didn't feel happy about it. I didn't feel anything. They were strangers now. People I used to know. And maybe that was the saddest ending of all, not dramatic revenge or continued hatred, but simple, cold indifference. You've just experienced a Ryan's Revelations exclusive investigation into real affair betrayal in America. This story, like all our content, is protected by copyright and exclusive to this channel. If you found this story on another channel, you're watching stolen content. Report it, and then come subscribe to the real Ryan's Revelations at Ryan's Revelations Official. This channel is dedicated to exposing the truth about affairs, betrayals, and forbidden relationships across America. Every story is real. Every betrayal is documented. Every emotion is authentic. What's your verdict on David's story? Like if you think he made the right choice walking away. Comment below. Could you forgive a cheating spouse and betraying sibling? Subscribe to @Ryan's Revelations Official for more real affair stories every week. Share this with someone who needs to see what real betrayal looks like. Coming next week on Ryan's Revelations. My husband's affair with my mother. The family secret that destroyed us all. Don't miss it. Subscribe now. This has been Ryan's Revelations, where the truth about affairs is always revealed. Remember, if it's not on Ryan's Revelations, it's not the real story.